So they do have coffins ready in any place that harbors vampires that are hooked up to blood on the inside to give Rio a stable supply of sustenance while he recovers, which should also help with the recovery process. Because at this point, everybody else seems completely convinced that this was a hoax. Now she can really only hope that he will come back as a vampire. She is feeling so many things because of this. On one hand, he did gaslight her and lied to her about what the book said, moves that are quite unlike him, so he could get the cure. He used her, and she is undoubtedly hurt about that. Though she understands his reasoning, she just really hopes he'll be okay so she can knock some sense into him, verbally of course, and also she just wants him to be safe, vampire or human. Of course she wishes that the cure would work, but she doesn't have that much hope now that she's heard what Pandora thinks. She wonders how legit Rio thought the cure was, or if he really was just doing anything to stop being a vampire. We will hopefully be able to ask him these questions when he wakes up. But for now, there's nothing we can do. She's about to leave, and we have a visitor. By the look on his face, we can assume that Pandora told him what had happened because she really can't hide it. Pandora likely did not put the blame on her, but I think that Nathaniel can connect some dots. The fact that she is, the one down here. He is very angry. He's clenching his fists like crazy. She'll try to talk her way out of this, but it's a little difficult to do so. She's very afraid of him. She doesn't really know what's going on, but she does know that if anything is gonna make him want to hurt her for bait, like he was already planning on doing, it's this. Rio was obviously a very important vampire to him. Not that Rio was important to him, but the fact that Rio was a vampire was very important to him. And of course, we expect that Rio will continue to be a vampire if he will be here at all. It's the attempt that counts. It looks like she's deciding to sleep next to his coffin tonight. Honestly, that's whatever. I'll just wait until she wakes up. We're gonna be heading home, it seems. If we're going to be honest, seeing Nathaniel had her thinking. She is quite confused. If he really wanted her to get attacked so bad, and if he was going to do something to her to make her more enticing to other vampires, why hasn't she been attacked yet? She doesn't understand what he could possibly do. She doesn't know enough about vampires, I suppose, but she did read a very, very long series of books about vampirism, so you'd think she'd know a little. And she knows about the gifts that vampires have, and she's stumped as to what he could do to her. Was he lying? Was he just saying that to make her afraid so she doesn't tell anybody what's going on? Or did he tell that to her so that she is more willing to help with the investigation? Because if he did do something, she probably would have been attacked by now. None of it is adding up. Another thing that's not adding up, which I have previously spoken about. She's watching TV, definitely trying to get her mind off of Rio. This is going to be a very hard period of time to do literally anything. The time that she doesn't know what's going to happen to Rio. Isadora has decided to take a look back at the book because she's wondering if maybe Rio shutting the book to quote-unquote celebrate their findings was him purposely hiding from her potential side effects and what the book said. So she has started to read the last passage of the book that talks about the cure. The cure is a huge risk, and many records have shown various failures and few successes to cure the disease. The reason the concoction is considered a vampire cure is because it meticulously attacks the part of a vampire that makes them a vampire, and then you must hope they survive it. It degrades the vampire part of you using things that are poisonous to vampires, such as garlic, and kills whatever is inhuman inside of you. Some scientists have predicted that it is survivable, but the experiment's results show very little possibility from the vampire coming out of the coma. She knows that Rio must have read this, and she's just thinking he really was okay with dying as long as he could try to become human again. We're gonna sleep through the day, I suppose. I think during the night, she was doing some thinking. She doesn't quite know how. Oh, poor baby's crying in bed. The others would react to this information. She is kind of scared to face them. She knows she probably should talk to them, though. So we're gonna visit their apartment and briefly check in with the three neighbors who are alive and well. He's going to knock on the door. Okay, it looks like Elena's over here. She's dancing, which is not surprising. She's always doing that at our house as well. We'll say hi to her. I'm not sure if Pandora has told her, so we'll have a deep conversation with her. Ask her if she knows about what happened. She's feeling very sad, so my guess would be she does know. Does seem as if the couch is broken, and Pandora has told them the news. I really don't know if Pandora has told Zoran, because that one might be a little bit more difficult, considering he is kind of buddies with Nathaniel. Who knows how he's going to react to this information? I don't know what Soren's relationship with Rio is, if they had a friendly relationship, or if Soren was kind of like a second Nathaniel to him. He is sleeping in Elena's room for some reason. My guess is because I forgot to assign them beds. So we'll get him up. Oh, they are on hugging terms. That surprises me every time. She's gonna start off by asking him if he knows, and he's going to tell her that he does. Pandora was pretty open with them about what happened, but he doesn't seem as mad as she kind of thought he would. He seems. His face makes it look like he's a little bit conflicted. Because of his closeness and trust of Nathaniel, I think we have to ask him if he agrees with Nathaniel about Isadora. She doesn't particularly want to be friendly with him if he really is just Nathaniel's clone. She's going to ask him two questions, which one of which is he agreeing with Nathaniel's solutions? And why hasn't she been attacked yet? What exactly has Nathaniel done to her? Isadora is glad she hasn't been attacked yet, but if Nathaniel is doing something to make her become attacked, and she still isn't getting attacked, it's strange. What could possibly be the reason? Why was she the only waitress who was left alive after her attack? Why was she fine after her attack? And what on earth is Nathaniel doing to her or planning to do with her? She brings these concerns to Soren, and he seems a bit confused himself. Nathaniel tells me everything he's willing to share with anybody, but I have no doubts that he has many things he plans to take to his lonely eternity. This whole situation is the least upfront with me he's ever been. I have no idea what he's planning on doing to you in order to get you attacked. I don't even know what he could do, which is kind of what Isadora thought. He isn't mind controlling you. He didn't wipe your memory. I have no idea how he could make you more enticing to the attacker. And even if he could, he hasn't because you haven't been attacked yet. So he does seem to be thinking the same things on her. They're kind of at the same wavelength, and it does seem he's having some doubts of Nathaniel, and I think that that's acceptable. It's acceptable for, him to stray a bit from the guy who kind of like raised him and start to doubt him because of the situation. He doesn't have to drop everything and like betray Nathaniel. That's not what she's asking, though she wouldn't be mad if he did. But she definitely feels like she can trust him a little more than she can trust Nathaniel. That's for sure. Boogieing, but they're still talking. That's just what happens in this series. At this point, Nathaniel turned me when I turned 18, a ceremonial deed. He wanted me to be the next in line for the cabaret whenever he decided to retire or something happened to him. He's been entrusting me with many of the cabaret's greatest secrets, but he is so uncomfortable. whenever I bring up you. Now, this is a little strange for two reasons to Isadora. One, what exactly is Soren bringing up about her? Two, that is unsettling. Me? What the hell is special about me? She's thinking, she's saying. She doesn't understand, like, what warrants this, like, special behavior from him, where he actually, like, is concerned about her. He's never concerned about any humans. Why would he be so concerned and, like, secretive when talking about her? It's like he knows something about her she doesn't know about herself. He continues to explain, well, not you exactly, but your attack. Something about it has been really bothering him, and he won't disclose what it is. I'm worried that he's planning on doing something to you, using you for something different than what he says. I know he says he wants you to get attacked, but if I'm gonna be honest, I can tell that's not his goal. I just have no idea what it is, because Nathaniel gets what he wants. I mean, he is, in all the time I've known him, he's always gotten what he wants. He has always gotten what he's wanted. He has never in his life that I have noticed settled for something going sideways. I don't know what's going on, but stay diligent. Her attack was not the first attack, so it's not that he is really worried about the fact that people are getting attacked because otherwise he wouldn't be so touchy about her attack specifically. It's just weird. This we already know, but it's really weird to hear it from somebody so close to Nathaniel, somebody who actually knows what he's thinking, because we don't know what he's thinking. Her guesses were just assumptions, and she really doesn't know him. But it's not really an assumption when Soren says it. Soren really, really does know Nathaniel more than anybody else who is alive. Does that mean he knows that much about Nathaniel? No, Nathaniel is not an easy guy to get anything out of. So, yeah, that is interesting. Hopefully that spiel made sense. I feel like a lot of the time when I say things, it's just like, you already said that. On the lines of Rio, I have no idea. I have no clue if he's going to wake up. I have no clue if a vampire or a human or not at all. But I can't blame him for wanting to get out of this life. It's not for everybody, even for the people that it is for, it certainly isn't easy. I think he deserves to turn back. I've not shared the sentiment with Nathaniel that Rio really cannot change back. It's possible. You know, Nathaniel is extremely against it. He's extremely upset about it. It seems as if Soren does not share that sentiment. It was like, before this, he was really always in agreement with Nathaniel, but somehow this situation has changed both him and Nathaniel to be kind of weird. Kind of abnormal. We're gonna head home. But before that, Soren has one more thing to say. Kira. This was not a topic Isadora was expecting to be brought up. I realized that it is very likely that the culprit, oh, hello Pandora, is part of our stuff. I would suggest if you were to look into it, which I know that you kind of have been because this is related to you, a good thing for you to do maybe is to come in on the days that you do not work and come meet the other staff members we have. Some other staff members, because obviously the people who are there with us cannot be there all the time, and they aren't all there all the time. There's a lot of times where not everybody is there. Or actually going to be heading home this time. I hope my little spiels are sensible. Today was one of those days where she doesn't work, and she has another one tomorrow. So we're going to end up meeting those people then. I don't know if it will really give us any answers, but it will be good to know every single person who could possibly have done it. Somebody in the cabaret must have been the one to kill Kira, or somebody in the cabaret must have helped. There's no way around it. She really cannot imagine it being any of her friends. She knows it. She really can't see it. Now, considering her family history, she definitely knows that it's best to be suspicious of everybody, even your closest friends. But her best judgments are kind of slipping away when she thinks about it, because she really likes all of these people. She doesn't feel like they could be capable of something like this. Of course, people can hide things really well, but she has faith in them. She has to meet these other people so that she can figure out if there are other options, or if she really does have to start looking in her internal group. Now, she's also probably thinking it would be really weirdly coincidental for it to be one of my closest friends, just like it was with my parents. It feels like a little bit of a fourth wall break there, to be honest, but it would be kind of weird, wouldn't it? But this situation's kind of different than Sapphire Cliffs, don't you think? And she doesn't want to give up the faith that she has in her friends, her lovers, her friend lovers. I don't know. We're just gonna see, I guess. But meeting these people is gonna be important. We're definitely gonna be a little bit nervous. So yes, we will be meeting the other staff members of the cabaret, who are either different shift bartenders or bouncers, all these people that they are going to need at all times. If they have one of them, they can't be there all the time. Humans is their only band. They do not have like another band that performs on the days Isadora is off. They just kind of perform some days that she's on, some days that she's off. It just kind of depends. And there are at least one vampire bartender and at least one vampire entertainer, as well as at least one vampire bouncer. Soren has so very kindly given her the list of the 3 vampires who work that shift, because remember, there are also humans who work at the cabaret. Hello, Christmas Sasha. She's so pretty. Honestly, sure. You can give anybody my number. I trust you, Mom. I like that her family still reaches out. We obviously haven't seen them all too much because we can't go over. I'm just saying, relationships should make you happy, not stressed. Happy? Oh, he's looking out for her. Well, um, with Elena, she's very happy. With Rio, she was very happy. She's a little stressed now, though. And Pandora, I don't know if I'd call that a relationship, but anyway. I think we're gonna go to the cabaret early because we would like to go downstairs and visit Rio in the casket. Just pop by. Hopefully, Nathaniel will be far, far away. We have a kind of strange looking vampire here. I kind of vibe with it though. She must have some resistance or something. Felix is such an old man partying at 3 p.m. Well, you know what? Maybe it's best we don't talk to him before or after seeing Rio, because if we get emotional going into the back, he's gonna maybe wonder what's exactly happening. And we really can't disclose, can we? I feel like having him here is low-key dangerous. Maybe I should, make sure her parents are not coming. But we're gonna come sit down here. I don't know how long we're gonna be sitting here, but it might be for a little while. She, feeling kind of hopeless about Rio. Isadora starts to hear footsteps, and she gets very nervous because really hasn't seen that many people come down into the basement, and she doesn't particularly want to come into contact with Nathaniel right now. But to her surprise, it's actually Elena who comes down and sits beside her. She has her brows furrowed and has a concentrated face as if she's truly puzzled over something. I wasn't expecting to see you here, Isadora says. I'm only going to be here for a few minutes. I was just going to talk to myself. Or him, I guess. Isadora isn't sure what to say to that. She asks, what were you planning on saying to him? Oh, it's ridiculous, really. I'm wondering if, Kira's gonna work. Elena looks quite bashful to admit it. Well, Pandora really doesn't seem to believe the book that the recipe came from, and neither does Soren. They're smarter about this vampire stuff than me, so I can't say, but I don't know. Isadora tells her, I don't know what's going to happen. I think we'll just be lucky if he wakes up. Elena lets out quite a deep sigh. Yeah, they sit in silence for a minute or so. Elena starts. If it works, I could become human again. Those words hit Isadora like a brick. She frowns, trying to figure out how to tell Elena the book said. Oh, I'm so sorry, Elena, but even if it did work, you couldn't. Elena looks confused, definitely a bit panicked over the idea. What do you mean? The book said that if a vampire has developed any unique weaknesses that are abnormal, those weaknesses won't go away with the cure, meaning they would still be there when you're human. Elena is silent for a second, definitely upset, like a withered stomach. Isadora nods grimly. Elena looks away. I wouldn't be able to eat anything. I would starve? Isadora's silence and uncertainty over what to say kind of gives Elena her answer, even though she kind of already knew. Isadora can already see the tears forming in Elena's eyes. She reaches out, wanting to comfort her, but Elena stands up abruptly, mumbling as she leaves. I'm sorry, I have to go. Isadora feels awful, but she knows that if she didn't say anything, Elena's hope would continue to grow, and it is best to shut it down as soon as possible to avoid the most pain. Still, it feels like such a cruel twist of fate for her to be excluded from the cure if it was to be. Alright, so it is time to meet the cabaret stuff that we do not know. First, we have this guy here. His name is Desmond Deal, and he is the first vampire we're going to be talking to who works at the cabaret today. There are some non-vampires we have also not met, but we probably don't need to talk to them. It looks like he knows Pandora. We're going to introduce ourselves to him. I don't know what we're gonna do from there because we have no clue who this guy is. We have absolutely no idea how he works. If he's like normal or like really weird, we just do not know enough about him. So we've met him. I don't know if I have first impressions in my game, unfortunately. I love having first impressions, but I think it broke. I think right now what we're doing is we're gonna look for signs of strangeness. Very likely that this person who is attacking the other cabaret staff members is probably pretty normal appearing, but we're still trying to look for anything we can. I mean, what else do you do? I think right now we're basically just looking to know of them, know who they are, just a little bit at least. Desmond has been friendly with us this whole time, but he's got a kind of strange look on his face. Oh my god, what is he doing? He just yelled. He was just like, he's terrified. He's feeling a bit better now, but he was not terrified when we introduced ourselves or when we, like, got here. Another one of the workers actually is sitting right next to us. His name is Mario. We'll have a friendly introduction to him as well. What? What the hell? He is also terrified of her. He is also terrified. He was not terrified. Like, he was up here and he was energized and he turned terrified the moment she introduced herself. What is that about? I don't think that, like, Soren told them about who we are. I don't think, like, there's any type of reason why that would be. There's another bartender here, but we're gonna ignore it. Yeah, wow, this guy. Look at him. He looks. Nervous laughter. Okay. He's literally terrified the moment we introduce ourselves. That is so beyond strange. I would love to maybe get to know their traits. I don't know if that'll do literally anything, but it would be nice to. Oh, okay. It is obviously her. She is obviously the other vampire because she was just like threatening this woman, this poor bartender. But we're not. It just occurred to me, we're not gonna be able to ask these guys about their vampire quirks. And I don't think they'd be willing to share. It would probably okay, gotta avoid this guy. It would probably freak them out more than they're already freaked out, apparently. We'll just keep trying to get to know and we'll hope that we have some traits of theirs that we can look at. I know that previously she and Elena had discussed narrowing down the options by taking a look at vampire quirks. Not only will these guys probably not tell us they're vampire quirks, but also the report, the body report. What in the world, what quirk would cause that? She has no idea, so that idea has kind of gone away, because we literally I have no idea what the death report, like, meant. How they actually died, we have no idea. Like, what kind of injury could they be given by a vampire to make their, like, entire, all the holes in their face start to bleed, which is an awful, awful imagery, but I'm really trying to get to know this guy. He's not giving me anything, though. Knowing these people is really important because these are total potential suspects. It's definitely interesting. And now he's on his phone. That's a gorgeous backdrop, I guess. We're really not getting much from Mario, no matter how many times I hit the get to know option. He just doesn't give me anything other than, I think he did tell me his financial status, but I really do not care. I'm gonna, now that he's not behind the bar because this game doesn't work, might as well try to get something out of him. See what trades he's got, but again, I think somebody with any trades could potentially be a mass vampire killer. This woman here, she is the last vampire working the shift. Carrie de Los Santos. Okay. We're gonna ignore Nathaniel. Hopefully he'll ignore us too. Awkward. She's too busy talking to the stranger bartender who's probably one of the human staff members, right? Carrie really doesn't want to talk to us. She keeps walking away and canceling out the interaction. Okay, we're finally talking to her. My assumption would be she is a dancer, because look at her. Talk about the management, maybe. Let her know your job. I don't even think there's an option for that, but hanging out with Soren is the main reason I enjoy being part of the management. Okay. She's hot-headed, and she's, like, the most vampire out of all of them, I can tell, because she's, like, openly done so many, like, vampire gestures and interactions. Like, again, she was absolutely torturing this bartender by telling her she was gonna, like, stick her teeth in her throat or something. Which is cool. I like an unhinged vampire or whatever. Whenever she's talking to all three of these people, she's just getting this strange feeling. Because, upon meeting her, Carrie is very angry instead of being very afraid. Which is better? Is that better or worse than being terrified? I don't know. It's definitely weirder for a vampire to be very scared of a random human, but yeah, she really likes Soren. I don't know. But again, not getting anything out of her. Are these three like trained to not actually tell us anything about themselves? Because no matter how much I try to get to know them, they just don't say anything. I don't know, man. I think we're gonna have to call it a night. We've barely done anything. Okay, now this guy's freaking out again. Did you see that? This guy, Mario, I think his name is, just freaked out looking at Isadora, and Desmond had to, like, calm him down. Like, dude, chill. Oh my god, what is happening? Did y'all see that? This is so strange. Hold on. What is going on with... Okay, he's either drunk or in his vampire form. I couldn't tell you. He's dancing for her too. He's looking straight at her. Okay, this is so weird. He's so... Okay, I'm weirded out. We're gonna go. I know we barely got to know those people, but they were way harder to get to know than I thought they were going to be. They didn't seem particularly, like, evil or anything. They don't seem like the type of people who would, do the types of things that vampires are doing, but they're weird. They're weird people. It's so strange. I don't know what's going on with him. I think he thinks about her a lot. I think he's got some weird obsession with Isadora, if I'm gonna be honest, because he's, like, really angry of her existence. He does not like her, and when he's drunk, he starts dancing for us or something. What? I still don't understand what that's about, but... So we are getting a call from Pandora, which is somewhat concerning because she really isn't much of a chatter, so she's probably calling for a reason. And she says that she would like to talk for Isadora for a minute, so if Isadora could just come on over to their place, it's nothing like crazy or anything, nothing like super urgent that Isadora has to worry about. There's just something that they need to cover. So we're gonna go ahead and head over to the apartment A, if you will. And we'll see what Pandora has to say. If I recall correctly, when Pandora was in the archive, She brought out quite a bit of books on history, books on all these things that she's like, maybe they're related. I'm not going to waste Isadora's time making her read them, but maybe they're related. So Pandora's been studying for us, which is just, that woman is helpful. I just gotta say. I'm a little confused why she's so helpful, but I really appreciate it. Okay, we've just been let in. Pandora is leading us to her room, it looks like. Maybe a private type of convo, or the type of convo that you want to have when you're boxing. We have not been in her room before. Oh my god, Soren, sleep in your own bed, dude. He will not sleep in his own bed. Do you have your own bed? Like, what? Okay, to be fair, Elena is sleeping in his. I really need to go back in their household and assign rooms, because this is not correct. Oh, we're on hugging terms. I kind of love Pandora low-key. She's not very talkative, but she's like been so helpful. Thank you for coming over, Isadora. There's something I want you to take a look at. As I said, before we went down to the archives, I did go to town libraries to see if they had anything there, and there wasn't anything on vampires, so that's why we went to the archive. But there was a book that caught my eye, and it was about Senmei history, talking about the parts of history that typically weren't talked about, or unsolved cases that happened in the past that they really couldn't figure out, and which made me think maybe some of these unsolved situations had something to do with the fact that vampires were behind it. Not that makes sense, because Senmei vampires are peaceful, but I decided to take a look anyway. She pulls out a book and flips to a page for Isadora to see. This is a record from almost 100 years ago detailing a series of mysterious disappearances and murders that happened right around the corner from the Cabaret. This was about the time the Cabaret was established, and this could be completely unrelated, but the confusion surrounding the deaths and the complete mystery of it makes me wonder if it has anything to do with this current series of deaths. We have no idea what to do with this information. Maybe it's related, maybe it's not related at all. Gosh, this whole thing is starting to feel very strange to Isadora. The amount of things that don't have answers, the amount of things that she honestly doesn't think are true, that Nathaniel has said, that she has learned, nothing just is feeling right. And, Rio is still not here. And I'm sure he would have some thoughts on all of this investigative stuff. She definitely also has that weighing on her mind. Aw, is that a letter? That's cute. I've never seen that interaction before. Elena is such a sweetie pie. We are missing Rio, and we are so confused by this entire situation. It's also tiring. So I'm gonna end the episode here. I really hope that this wasn't an enjoyable one. Sometimes I get a little bit worried. I would very much appreciate hearing your thoughts. Any feedback at all would be really so nice to hear. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode, which I'm sure will be an eventful one, because they all tend to be. Goodbye!